welcome back. This is my second time starting your video. The sheet behind me had fallen. Well, no, it never just falls. You guys know how it is on this channel. Anyway, we're starting our new series of readings this week. It's like the middle of the week. I'm trying to get back on a schedule of like the elements, Monday through, I don't know, Friday. I don't know how many videos. Let's see, there's 12, so I'd have to do 3 a day. I don't want to do that. See? So 2 a day, and then I'd have an extra element reading on Saturday, and then do some different kind of readings. I have a couple of ideas of what I want to do. I just haven't had the energy, to be honest with you. I'm still trying to but yeah, anyway, I'll try to get back on track. I just have to like sit down one day and do a shit ton of readings. If you read, you know. I haven't asked anything, so get back in there. Okay, Aries. I guess we're just doing what Aries needs to know, I guess. What's going on with Aries? Let's do, what is it that you don't see? Let's do that, yeah? Let's see how it goes, Aries. It's kind of the same thing, right? Whatever you need to know. But let's see, Aries. Believe in yourself. Squirrel spirit. Squirrel spirit, Aries. I have so much. I feel like you're having a hard time right now, Aries. And then nothing is wasted. I feel like you guys are trying to and then transformation is beautiful. Okay, so I feel like you've been going through a transformation, several different transformations, right? And I feel like there's been several things in your life that haven't panned out, that haven't worked out the way you've wanted them to. And I feel like you guys are having a hard time believing in yourself. I feel like you guys are having a hard time believing in what you guys are trying to accomplish. There are some things that you're not meant to accomplish, unfortunately, but they are saying like, look, nothing's wasted whenever you're doing something. Even if, like, let's say you start a restaurant and it doesn't work out, you just got a whole bunch of restaurant experience, right? Like, I know my family started a restaurant and I was the manager, and I had to go to all these classes, a whole bunch of like food prep classes and stuff like that. Like, not like how to prep food, but like how to store food, what degrees it has to be. And that taught me a lot, right? And I could be a manager at a restaurant. I could also be the cook, but we're not even gonna go there. Anyway, I do feel like believe in yourself with the squirrel spirit. Dude, this literally, all I saw was the Ice Age movie. You know, the squirrel that literally in every single movie, throughout beginning to end, is trying to get that nut, okay? He's trying to get that nut, and he's trying to save that shit. And he loses it. He crosses oceans. He crosses mountains. This MFer even, like, destroyed an iceberg. And, like, he brought on a whole bunch of, like, messed up stuff because of, he would not give up. And if you guys haven't seen it, because if you don't have kids, or you know, if you just put on a movie for your kids to watch or whatever, and you don't watch it yourself, he never gave up. And it was the one nut. It was the one nut, right? And it didn't matter where. He did not. I'm telling you, I don't remember the last movie. I'm pretty sure I watched it, but no, he literally, I think he like brought on the ice age, but like trying to get this nut because it was like frozen in ice, and he like something about an iceberg, right? But he didn't. He got his nut, and he did not ever give up, right? So it's almost like saying, you know, even if there's a specific idea, it's almost like the nut is you, right? You're the nut. And it's always like, no matter what, never giving up on yourself, never losing yourself, because it would fall off a tree and roll into a different county, and he'd go after. No, he would fight people. He did not. He never gave up on his, I think it's called an acorn, but it's a nut, right? He never gave up on himself. No, that was his baby, and he did not. And I feel like instead of an idea of like, don't ever give up on this idea, it's more of a, don't give up on yourself. You are the magic. I was gonna say miracle. Maybe some of you guys have been through a miracle, right? I know I was a miracle child. We're not gonna get into that subject. But you are the magic, right? You are what makes things special. So even if something didn't work out or hasn't worked out, because I'm not saying it isn't, I feel like you're starting to feel like you're starting to lose faith. But I feel like you're starting to lose faith in yourself, right? It's almost like maybe it's me, because I feel like you also see like the same people or different people in the same genre, where they're doing good, right? They're doing great. But remember, a lot of times people come in right at the beginning of a new, let's say, platform, or they go into a, you know, but if you're good at what you do, if you know what you're doing, it doesn't matter. It might take a little bit more time to break into, you know, a subject that's more, let's say, taboo, or let's say you're cooking, but there's so many cooking channels out there, right? Who cares if you cook really well, and you're good at what you do, you're going to get noticed. I also would, just as somebody who loves cooking channels and watching other people cook, I love things that are aesthetically pleasing to the eye, right? And like, so like, let's say you're making a mac and cheese. To me, I'm just like, oh, whatever, another mac and cheese, right? But if you add color and pop and it's like a different shape or something weird, right, to it, that's when you would get my attention, right? Same thing goes for anything, right? When you add like something that's more aesthetically pleasing, but really, if you're adding like new ideas or mixing it up a little bit, just making sure that you're just a little bit not different to who you are, but just be who you are. Be who you are. And I feel like people will I feel like you're gonna find your niche. Okay, I feel like you're gonna find your niche, and it's gonna blow up. I feel though that you're starting to lose faith in yourself. It's okay to lose faith in an idea, never in yourself. Okay, never in yourself, right? Even and again with vulture spirit, I feel like even with all these opportunities that you've tried and things that you've attempted, nothing goes wasted. Everything is practice. Everything is practice for when something actually, you know, happens, right? You never read a book in school and be like, oh, I just wasted my time reading this book. No, you still learn something. You take something from that, right? Even if it's like, oh, I didn't even need this this class anymore, this credit, you still learned. And that's something that's going to be useful in your life, believe it or not. All right, let's clarify squirrel spirit. Ooh. The world, yeah, something's ended here. I feel like there's an ending coming to the world, with the world. But with the Knight of Cups, I feel like there's something ending, but there is somebody that's coming in with an offer, some kind of opportunity, and this is actually going to be a brand new beginning for you. With the Ace of Wands, this is something that you're going to absolutely love, and you're going to be really passionate about this. And I feel like whatever you've been doing, whatever it is that didn't work out, that was all just practice to get you where you need to go, okay? This is going to be something way bigger. You're going to be making more money, and it's something that's going to be something that you still love, right? Because there's a bunch of suns in here and a star. There's a star and a sun, and it's going to be very different. It is going to be still very different. It could be still in the same genre, like with very taboo, but I feel like there is an ending here. There is an ending, and there's a need to understand that sometimes things end, and you were practicing for whatever it was, right? Whatever it was, you were practicing for that, and it's okay. It's okay to let it go, especially if you're starting something else. Like, how many times have people gone to school and they go and get a degree that they paid, I don't know, $40,000 for that, and that's on the low spectrum, right? $50,000 for college, and then they either don't get a job in that degree or end up going to that degree and end up switching to something else, right? Switching to do something completely different, because it's okay to change your mind, and it doesn't matter what stage of life you're in. Sometimes you want to do something else. Sometimes you're meant to be somewhere else. Sometimes you're actually better equipped to be somewhere else, and it feels like it's going to be when I say less work, it means, like, you know, when you're enjoying yourself and it doesn't feel like work. That's what I mean. When you're actually, like, getting up and doing the things that you enjoy doing and it doesn't feel like work, that's what I mean by less work, more pay, right? Yeah. So you've been refining your talents. You've been refining whatever it is that you've been refining. I feel like it is talents, different talents, and whatever it is that you've been doing. With taste culture here, I really do feel like maybe I am talking to a cook here. But you've been fine-tuning your not only your abilities, but also I feel like your intuition, right? You've been drawing out who you really are, who you really want to do. Remember, when you go through a lot of healing, you unlearn a lot of things, and you realize that you don't like the same things as you used to like anymore, right? You a lot of times we go into certain careers, certain occupations, because we were told this, or we wanted to make a certain amount of money, and then you realize that maybe that money isn't worth it, because I can't ever see my family, I can't go anywhere, whatever it is, right? Maybe you don't agree with the ideas of the business, right? But I feel like with you, and some of you guys might even have some of you guys might have stopped drinking or doing something that was overly, so there was something that you detoxed from, right? And I feel like because you detoxed from this, you're able to see now clearly that you were miserable, and a lot of it had to do with the choices you were making in life, okay? And now you're cultivating the kind of life that you actually want to live. And some of you guys, it feels like you're ending a chapter in certain careers. This could even be ending a chapter in relationships, right? Maybe that relationship, it was a lot of toxic behaviors, a lot of you know, you guys bonded over toxic things, right? And now that you're no longer doing that, it's almost like, I don't understand this person, I don't get along with them. Like, without the alcohol, I don't have anything in common with them, right? I feel like you felt like this was something that was lost or delayed. I feel like you did lose some time here, right? You were in this cycle for a minute, and it felt like you were in a maze that you couldn't get out of. And it's because for a lot of you guys, either you weren't thinking clearly, or two, you didn't understand how to get out of this. And again, it was because of certain people, places, and things that you felt like you were stuck in a maze and you really couldn't figure it out. Some of you guys did go on a spiritual journey though, and while you're in a spiritual journey, the universe will hold you. They will keep you in a holding space, right? They'll say, hey, we need you to stay here. So even if you're trying to figure out a way out, they'll say, no, you're not ready. You're not ready to get out, right? Because you don't have the answer yet. Until you have the answer, you can't get out of this maze, right? And so it felt for a long time they had you, there was a problem to solve, but there was a catch-22 here. It was almost like, well, if I resolve this problem, then I'm gonna mess up this situation, right? And it was almost like there was something you didn't want to let go, but you knew that without letting that go, you weren't going to be able to resolve this problem, which meant that your life was going to continue and continue and continue, and this is why you weren't able to move forward, right? I feel like now you are in sync. You are understanding that certain things need to be sacrificed, one, and two, I feel like you're working together with your mind, body, and soul, right? And I do feel like you're going to have I feel like you're also working together with your guides. I feel like in the past you weren't really listening, or maybe you were just kind of like, again, if you were like under the influence, you can still hear them. People will say, no, I can't hear. You can still hear them, but you just are, you don't care, you don't pay attention. It's like whatever, you're drowning out, right? You don't give a shit. You're like, whatever. I do feel though that you're taking leadership in your own life, but you are co-creating now directly with your guides and with divine, right? I do feel like you are starting to form alliances or partnerships with new people, and this is where you're going to be led to. This is something that's going to be new for you, right? But it does feel like everything that you've done in the past is basically like building up to what this is meant to be, right? And with this, it does feel like some of you guys could even meet a soulmate, meet somebody that you're coming into union with, right? And this is the person that you could be working together with. This is somebody that's very healthy though. This is somebody that's very, very healthy. This is somebody that's very alluring. This is somebody that's very attractive. And this has very long-term potential. This could be your end game person, okay? This is not someone that, you know, you're gonna go back and forth with. This is not someone that you know you have to learn those hard lessons with. It's almost like once you guys come together, everything's gonna start moving forward, right? It does feel like there was roadblocks. Yeah, there was challenges here. It's because you were in a victim mentality, but really that victim mentality was you not listening to your intuition, and keeping people and places and things around you that you shouldn't have, right? But it's time to regroup. It's time to come out of that. That was a temporary step back, and it's time to move forward now. It felt like in the past you were taking one step forward, two steps back, right? There was a resist here to transformation. There was a resist. You were very hyper focused, but on the wrong things. But now, like I said, it feels like you are in harmony with your mind, heart, and soul. And I feel like it's all going to start coming together now, because everything is in sync. And it feels like this is bringing in for your life, it's almost bringing in that crescendo, right? It's that part of your life where it's like it's the best it's ever gonna be, because I feel like you've actually finally you put in the work, you listened, you're moving forward in what you need to do, and yeah, I feel like you've been doing it. I feel like you got out of that maze, or you're right at the end of that maze, and you're moving forward, right? Yeah, there's going to be communication coming in from someone, and I feel like this is a person that is going to be there's two and then two. Yeah, I feel like this could be somebody that you're going to start working together, but this is somebody that also could turn into a union. We just had an eclipse, so that could be the energy that it's working under. I believe the eclipse energy stays for, I can't remember, to be honest with you guys. I want to say, I don't remember. I know I've heard it, and now I don't remember what it is. Okay, we're gonna leave it here. Just get you guys some advice. And soulmates don't necessarily have to be partners, like together, like in a romantic. This could be a soulmate that you work together. It's someone that you're meant to come together with to work together. Okay, soulmates are friends. You know, people that turn into business partners. Right? It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic love. I'm gonna just get the first one because 3 came out, so I'm putting 2 back and I'm turning them over, not even looking at them. You got daring rebirth. See, you are now rebirthing because you got out of that maze, and it's almost like you were stuck in the cocoon and they were telling you, listen, we're trying to teach you, we're trying to like tell you how to get out, and you were like, no, let me out, let me out. So you were kind of stuck in there, and there was a little bit of a detour. It's almost like they had to get help for you to get out. But yeah, you got daring rebirth, which is funny because you got 888, and then I saw 8 again a bunch of times. You got the goddess Ishtar and Astrophyllite, which is really good for dreams and stuff, dream walking, yeah, telepathy. There's a lot of good things about it, but yeah. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here, Aries. I hope this helped. I love you guys so much. I will see you soon. Bye.